investigators. Yeah. Okay. Can I invite Dr. Abdullah to come?
Okay, first of all, thank you, Dr. Sumesh, for giving, for introducing me. And Mr. Rahul is really, is a situation where we cannot assess the difference between inventive step and Section 3D. It's a big challenge, big problem with the Patent Office, and nowadays we have been facing. And I think the examiners need to understand the difference between inventive step and Section 3D, and accordingly apply the sections. Now, as Rahul said, this in drug discovery is very challenging. Is uphill task. It involves full of uncertainty, and of course, a lot of money and time-consuming exercise. So nobody would like to invest in R&D unless there is a certain certainty that you will get return after you launch the product in the market. So for that, I have selected this topic, innovative medicine and investment decision from India perspective. So, okay, I will skip this slide. Before I move on, I will briefly give you, introduce our company. That is Japanese. This is Daiichi Sankyo is Japan third largest company by sale, and we have global presence, and we have R&D center in India also. That is in Gurgaon. And in R&D center, we have been working in the area of infectious disease and autoimmune disease, and we have development section also, which is taking care of the clinical trials part of the invention. And now this is the global scenario we have. If you want to invest, we have to think a lot. If we want to invest in the R&D. First of all, internal pressure and the external pressure, which is very, we have a set criteria in the research and development field. We have deadlines to meet and all stuff within the organization, which is, is internal pressure to come up with innovative medicine or innovative drug. And of course, it involves a lot of money, it is time consuming, and a lot of risks are involved in the development process, research and development process. So really, we need incentives in terms of patent protection and regulatory protection in India. But these two factors should be strong. If you want to invest in R&D, you have to have very strong patent system, patent protection, as well as the regulatory protection in India. Now, this is the flow chart I have prepared for you. This is how we take the molecule forward from the research to development. And I'm proud to tell you that India is the leader as far as synthetic chemistry is concerned, is of course leader. And identifying the lead compound is one of the areas where we are very strong, and of course manufacturing and formulations. And we are also good enough in terms of testing the efficacy of the compound, the toxicological profile of the compounds, and pharmacokinetics parameters. I mean, ADME profile of the compound. So we are good enough, but we need to improve the capability in these fields to overcome the issues which will come up later on during the course of clinical trial. For example, the failure of the withdrawal of the drug due to the toxicity or any issue related to ADME. So we need to be careful with respect to, so what I mean here with this slide is we have some gap as far as drug discovery in India is concerned. We need to fill this gap, and how to fill this gap is of course we should look for collaboration. We should look for using there should be a complementary approach, if somebody has some strength, we should utilize this strength. So for that, we need to go for collaboration, utilizing industry strength in academia, and take the invention forward. And for that, if you go for collaborative invention or approach towards drug discovery and development, we need to have very strong IP protection because of the obvious reason of high risk and on the investment. So in India, we have some roadblocks. We have to have the balance between the IP rights and the affordability of the drugs. We need to have balance between these two sections. So otherwise, it's very difficult to invest in R&D. So what I have listed 5 major roadblocks as far as drug discovery is concerned from IP point of view. One is patent enforcement, patentability standard. I will briefly talk about Section 3D. Rahul has already given, the details of this. Threat of compulsory license, lack of data protection, regulatory challenges. I will not talk about regulatory challenges, but the patent enforcement is something which is very, I have kept this on top because this is the big problem, the major problem in India, and we cannot enforce patent. We need to improve the mechanism of enforcement in India, and we need to educate each and every individual to understand the basics of patents and of course the grounds and how to apply the infringement, how to determine how to do the infringement analysis, and all these stuff we need to understand. So it's the responsibility of all, including the researchers, the lawyers, the judiciary, everybody. We need to understand this aspect. So it's very important to actually enhance the mechanism for patent enforcement in India. The second second roadblock is of course patentability standard. We have a novelty, inventive step, and of course utility part to determine whether the compounds or the invention is patentable or not. But in India, we have additional barrier, that is Section 3D. And what I think is just to overcome the evergreening in India, just to grant the claim on some invention the discovery which are not considered to be invention. So this is the idea behind introducing Section 3D. But on the other hand, what I believe is there could be two improvement over the existing product. One could be substantial improvement, which can enhance the utility and effectiveness of the compound or the invention, or there could be minor improvement in the compounds. So of course, anything which is very minor, then that should not be considered as invention. That should fall within the scope of Section 3D. But if you have made a lot of improvement over the existing compound, that should be considered to some extent. Because it involves a lot of money, and during the R&D process, we have a lot of steps, and wherein in every step we invest a lot of money and resources, of course. So these things, the patent office, should consider these factors before interpreting the Section 3D or applying Section 3D. Now again, in GIPC, the term therapeutic efficacy is not, explained or is the meaning of this therapeutic efficacy is not known to me, at least. So, and it's very difficult to enhance the efficacy of the existing compound. Say, for example, if you have a compound, a base, and if you have a salt form of the base, the efficacy will remain same. So what is important is to understand how the drug molecule behave within the body and how the body is behaving towards this. How the molecule is traveling in the body, which is very complex. So it's very difficult to enhance the efficacy, but what we can do, we can enhance some other parameters. For example, is we can change there could be unmet medical need in the society. And for example, we have oral drug. If you want to have IV drug, which is very much needed by the patient in the hospital. And if you don't have compound, if you have come up through R&D, a compound which is good for intravenous therapy, that is, a substantial improvement over the existing product. So that should be considered. That should not be, denied based on Section 3D. So this is what, so there should be a balance in the interpretation of both the aspects of drug discovery as far as Section 3D is concerned. Now, the other problem or roadblock in India is compulsory licensing. Of course, it's a good idea. We should appreciate it, but there should be some balance. There should be some other ways to protect the innovator company. We should consider the concerns of innovator company, which are very important. So